Comes the weekend, comes Michael Snyder. We go out to the west coast of the United States, where he is ready to tell you all about the movies he saw this week. Hi, Michael.
Hi, Alex. It's a gray Los Angeles day, but I'm in high spirits, so let's just proceed, if we may. You know, in case anyone's curious, there will be no review of Book Club this weekend. The light comedy features a gaggle of actresses of a certain age: Diane Keaton, Candice Bergen, Jane Fonda, you get it, but their characters have become inspired by the softcore porn of 50 Shades of Grey. The screening conflicted with the big movie of the week, so you're on your own with that one. And I can only take one cute talking dog movie a year, and that was Isle of Dogs, so I passed on the would-be comedy Show Dogs. As for that big movie, it's big. Rough, vulgar, it's sardonic, frequently surprising, and often funny with in-jokes after Easter eggs, after self-mocking quips. It's Deadpool 2. Deadpool 2 is a jam-packed, hyperkinetic romp that overcame my sense of superhero fatigue. It's a real thing, let me tell you. About a third of the way through its 2-hour running time, Ryan Reynolds, he struck out in the superhero genre as Green Lantern for DC Comics movie bomb of the same name, but he is just fantastic as the unkillable, grotesquely scarred, and hilariously loony mercenary Deadpool. The first Deadpool movie was an R-rated hit that tore apart the fourth wall as Wade Wilson, Deadpool's alter ego, sliced and diced his opponents with his swords and whatever else he could get his hands on, and made a mockery of the now familiar superhero genre. And I say this because Deadpool is much more of the same, including the reappearance of a couple of lesser X-Men, Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead, as Deadpool's foils and cohorts, plus adds a few more second-tier heroes, most significantly the uncannily lucky and limber assassin Domino, played by a very charismatic young actor named Zazie Beetz. Like it or not, they're all part of Deadpool's new fighting team dubbed X-Force. Their task is to save a mutant kid from Cable, a time-traveling soldier of fortune who's come from the future to murder the kid for, time travel reasons. Cable is played by, get ready, Josh Brolin, already mega villain Thanos in the Marvel Comics movies after having been a mutilated cowboy hero named Jonah Hex for DC. So now he's doing Marvel double duty as Cable in at least one of the movies that's part of Fox Studios' separate deal that controls the X-Men cinematic universe. I know it's confusing, but well, go with it. The lovely genial Marina Baccarin is back as Deadpool's girlfriend. So is lunatic T.J. Miller as Deadpool's goofball buddy, and Leslie Uggams as the Merc's blind confidant. Plus you get Eddie Marsan, the great English actor, as a villainous headmaster, and even the guy that played Pennywise the Clown in the new It remake, Bill Skarsgård, but it's just a small role. All in all, Deadpool 2 is fun, especially for fans, and if 2 is a little too much sound and fury, that won't bother most of us, because, I love zingers and zaps. Okay, let's get a little more serious. If Deadpool 2 is a case of too much fun, then First Reformed, the latest from veteran filmmaker Paul Schrader, is no fun at all, but that doesn't mean it's not very, very good. It's quiet and deliberate and powerful and disturbing and dark, and features a peak performance by Ethan Hawke as a troubled reverend of a small congregation at an historic upstate New York church that's more of a low-key tourist destination than a well-attended house of God. Reverend Toller, the character, is a former military chaplain still grieving over the death of his son. He's deep in self-flagellating misery about what his life has been, and equally disturbed about what he's facing now and in the near future when a young pregnant member of his parish goes to him for help with her marriage, and tragic circumstances envelop them. Schrader wrote or co-wrote 4 Martin Scorsese films, including Taxi Driver and Raging Bull. This guy is talented. He's directed a bunch of solid movies, including Blue Collar, Hardcore, Cat People, American Gigolo. First Reformed is as unsettling as any of his other directorial efforts, and maybe more so, even if much of its torment lies quietly under the surfaces of its characters. And by the way, the young woman in need is played by Amanda Seyfried in standout fashion, one of her better showings. Another fine, if smaller, performance is courtesy of an actor named Cedric Kyles, who plays the head of a nearby super church ministry that oversees the historic church. Kyles is, in fact, Cedric the Entertainer, and he's damn good here. I'd like to see more from this guy, Kyles. So First Reformed, buyer beware, as they say, because it is very dark, but it's quite good. Finally, On Chesil Beach stars Saoirse Ronan and Billy Howell as Florence and Edward, a young English couple facing unexpected problems on their honeymoon in 1962. It's set before the barrier-busting social upheaval of the late 60s. It's a tender drama directed by Dominic Cook and based on the award-winning book by the movie's co-screenwriter Ian McEwan. The plot essentially finds the couple wrestling with roadblocks erected by the hoary British class system, specifically her uptight, well-to-do parents who object to her involvement with a boy from a working-class, somewhat bohemian family. But, that family is filled with love and support. So they're coming from different places. And despite their attraction to one another, they're very different beyond their economic status. He's smart and headstrong and passionate, a grad student in history, and she's an accomplished and retired violinist who fronts a rising string quartet. We see flashbacks, but mostly we see them grappling with intimacy on their honeymoon, and it's a heartbreaker. Emily Watson and Samuel West play her curt mother and domineering father, among other great supporting actors. I think Rowan and Howell give layered performances that nail the various shades of youthful love and the angst as well. They are actually a couple in a movie we reviewed earlier this month, the adaptation of The Seagull. They work very well together. Highest recommendation from me on Chesil Beach. I just want to wrap up by saying I'd rather not get into a misbegotten Eastern European set thriller called Dark Crimes, and it's notable because it stars Jim Carrey in a true story, but he's over his head as the obsessed Polish cop on the trail of a killer. The less said about it, the better. But, I guess kudos to Carrey for trying something different. What are you watching, buddy? What have you seen lately?
Nothing new. Nothing amazing or interesting or whatever.
Recommendations on TV?
No, not really. No, just the usual that we've mentioned already.
Have you checked out Deep State at all, by any chance?
No.
Haven't watched it yet. It stars Mark Strong.
Who's Mark Strong?
He's the guy who plays. He's in the Kingsman films. He's a British character actor and leading man type. Shaved head, pretty talented. And
I got too little time in my life to spend watching too many TV shows. Okay.
Understood. That's an ongoing problem. Anyway, that's it. I hope we'll be back next week. In the meantime, people can catch up to me on Twitter at Culture Blaster and on Facebook at the Michael Snyder's Culture Blast page.
And there's more GABNet coming right up. Stay where you are.